I could have done more with that. It's May 7th, 2021, 2:44 p.m. and episode 1233. One of my readers wrote the comment underneath the last video, and now his comment's not there, so I'm not going to call him out. But he disagreed with me drawing a noose. He said that, nobody should ever put a noose in a political cartoon. My editors at the Freelance Star totally agrees with that, back then anyway. And I got in trouble. Actually, I didn't get in trouble. My boss got in trouble. My editor got in trouble. We found out the hard way that there's a policy of no nooses in political cartoons. But it was really hard not to do that whenever nooses are the issue sometimes. As it wasn't the case when I did it back then. But, I disagree, though. I don't think anything should be off limits. But I think you have every right to be offended by it. And if you don't want to see it, I mean, we choose to be offended. We do. We are not born offended. I cannot offend you. You decide to be offended. I had heard a comedian, Orlando Jones, no relation, said that. He told me that. I was actually there sitting in front of him. He told the whole room that, but he told me that. So I was in the room, making it sound like it was one-on-one conversation. But he was like, I never offend anybody. People choose to be offended by what I say. So, and I told him, after that, I did talk to him, and I said, I'm going to totally steal that from you. And I've been using it ever since. But yeah, the last cartoon, it was tough. It was rough. Robert Cortino said, it's a really rough cartoon. I'm not saying that it's not within the bound of sarcasm appropriate, but it is really rough. And even if he didn't think it was, I would be fine with that. I don't really get upset when people think something's, like, if they're offended by stuff like that, I don't fight with them about it, because it's one of those things where you're not right or wrong. You're right. If you're offended, you're right that you're offended, So, Robert Cortino also wrote, going on Fox and Friends is like going to Saturday Night Live or the Tonight Show. Fox News does not list the show as informational nor as news. They're listed as entertainment. Thus, the governor of Florida revealing and touting his bill on such a program is as much of a joke as a failed SNL sketch. And there's a lot of failed SNL sketches, too. So, I think that's a great equivalence there, because it just... but those failed SNL sketches, they're at least supposed to be funny. And here, the thing that he did, it's hilarious for all the wrong reasons. Well, it's not hilarious. It's just like, it's sickening. To me, that's more sickening than the news. It's gross. I got this idea yesterday, and then, but yesterday I was developing like 20 ideas in my head. And so when I first did this one, and I wrote it down in my email to myself, it didn't really stand out to me until like maybe a few minutes later. It's like, wait, I think this might be a good one. I think I should do this. And then I intended to wake up like at 5 a.m. and get it done early, but I didn't wake up till like a little bit after 6. Probably because I didn't sleep any the night before. But I went to bed at 11 too, so I slept 7 hours. It's strange for me. And now I'm done for the day. CNN called me very early, and they picked a cartoon, which I was actually saving for them. I thought my editor might like this cartoon, so I'm going to hang on to it. And this is a different cartoon you haven't seen yet. And so I'm going to hang on to it for them. And then I did, and he called me like at 10. It's like, oh my God, this is early. So now I'm trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my day, which now I think I know what I'm going to do. There's going to be another animation in the near future. Now that I've said that, I'm obligated. So, but I don't know when I'm going to do it. So it's not going to be as much work or as intense as the last one I did, which was 6 months ago. So, my plan was originally to do one a month. Yeah. Now I haven't done one since the last one. No, it wasn't 6 months ago. It's like 8 months ago. God, I can't even count anymore. Anyway, talk to you tomorrow. Bye.